सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं रे रे 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 सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं रे रे 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 सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम्
Good morning, namaskaram to all.
Morning.
Audio is clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshiniim Bhagavatiim Ashtadashadhyayiniim Ambattvāmanusandadhāmi Bhagavad-gīte Bhavadveshiniim Namostu te Vyasa-vishala-buddhe Pullaravindāyata-patranetra Yena tvaya Bharatataila-purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya-pradīpaha Prapanna-pārijātāya Totra-vetraika-pānaye Jnana-mudraya Krishnāya Gīta-amrita-duhe Namaha Sarvopaniषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महद् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोपला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैर्णनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः ॐ Good morning and namaskaram to all. So we have been discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita and now we are in the 18th chapter, Moksha Sanyasa Yogam. We have done up to verse number 37. So verse number 37 says, Yattad agre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam tat sukham satvigam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Hey Arjuna, that which is poison in the beginning, but like nectar at the time of its fruition, that is when it gives results, it is like nectar. That happiness is said to be satvikam. So Bhagavan is explaining about the various classification of sukhams. Satvika sukham, Rajasa sukham and Tamasa sukham. So Bhagavan first explains Yattad agre vishamiva. In the beginning, it is like poison. What does that mean? See, Sattva gunam means it is always the Atma sukham. Okay? Sattva sukham is Atma sukham, without any external aid, without getting attached or without getting any connection with any of the objects of this world. One who enjoys sukham from within, right? The sukham or the Atma sukham, the shanti or the peace of mind one enjoys, right? Shanti, ashantasya kutas sukham. If there is no shanti, there is no sukham. So shanti is sukham. So that sukham, without depending on anything outside, including this body, that sukham which arises only through jnanam. How we get jnanam? Only through sravana, manana, nididhyasanam. Listening to the scriptures, listening to Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, etc. And mananam, constant contemplation on it. Why? This questions is asked and the answers are found, right? Through acharyas or through various discourses and books, etc. And all the doubts are cleared. And nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is dhyanam, thinking about it. Mananam and thinking about it. Applying it. Okay. Nididhyasanam is you apply that in your own life. Applying it and do meditation. Meditation means sit and think about whatever doubts have been cleared through mananam. Okay, so there are no more doubts now. But in my life, how do I apply? If there is a disturbance, I analyze it. Why is my mind is getting disturbed? Right? So that analysis through which we bring the mind to equanimity. So Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. This is the Abhyasam. So this is the process. Through this, one who attains the Sukham, that is Sattvika Sukham. But this is very difficult in the beginning. That is why it says Agre Vishamiva. In the beginning, it is very poisonous. It is like it appears to be, it's not poisonous, it appears to be like poison, right? It is in the beginning, it is difficult. That is what, it is bitter, like kashayam. Okay? But as we progress in this path of spirituality, slowly a sukham arises. Happiness arises from within. Okay? So there is no necessity to get connected to any objects outside for our sukham. Ice cream is not necessary for my happiness. That is what it means. Okay? I am happy within. Without any external aid, I am happy. That sukham is sattvika sukham. That is self-realization. Atmajnanam. So that leads to Atmajnanam, and Atmajnanam gives Sukham, Atma Sukham. Okay, so that is the Sattvika Sukham. Now let us see what is the Rajasika Sukham. 38. We will continue. Vishayendriya Sanyogat Yat Tadagre Amrutopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tatsukham Rajasam Smritam. Vishayendriya Sanyogat. Vishayam and Indriyam mean the sense organs and the objects. When they come in contact, Vishayendriya Sanyogat, because of the connection between the Indriyas, sense organs, as well as Karmendriyas also. Okay, Indriyas, when they come in contact with the objects of this world, Vishayam, then Agre Amrutopamam. In the beginning, it is Amrutam, just the opposite. There in Sattvika Sukham, Agre Vishamiva. In the beginning, it is bitter. Right? Here, in the beginning, it is like nectar. It is Amrutam. Pariname Vishamiva. But as the life progresses, okay, as the life progresses, later, it is like Visham. It turns out to be Visham, like poison. Means Dukkha Pradam. That is poison means here Dukkha Pradam. Tat Sukham Rajasam Sprutam. So, for Rajasam Sukham, this Rajasika Sukham, we need external objects. One, we need external objects for enjoying the pleasure. Otherwise, we are unhappy. Right? Either we have to, the Indriyas have to come in contact with the objects of this world, or even thinking about it also will give them happiness. Sitting and thinking about it. Today evening I will go and have ice cream. That gives pleasure. Right? This is what is happening. Most of the time, people do go for Manorajyam. They start daydreaming. We call it daydreaming. So go on thinking about it will give happiness, and later when the Indriyas come in contact with the object, I want to see a movie, or I will go and I will have an ice cream, or we all will go to Bangkok, etc. All that it leads to Vishayanandam. Means the Indriyas come in contact, that produces a Sukham. We call it pleasure. That pleasure in the beginning, it is like nectar. But then what will happen? What will happen later? Later the Indriyas will start deteriorating. The Indriyas, we will be at old age, we won't be able to see, we won't be able to hear. Right? So that time, the asha, the desires are never satisfied. The desires are piling up. The desires increase. Why the desires increase? Because this is called spruha. The enjoyment that the earlier we had by the connection of this indriya with the object produces a sort of want to do again, want to enjoy that again. That stays in the mind. Right? The experiences of the connection between the indriyas and the object remains as an impression in the mind, and it produces a desire to have that experience again. But in practically what will happen is the indriyas are deteriorating. At one point the indriyas won't be able to sense anything. But the mind has got all those impressions which would like to enjoy that again, but which will be impossible. Even if you have crores of money in the bank, it will be very difficult. It is impossible. Right? Even the urge to make money also is a desire. That also stays. So altogether, it is very difficult. It is the real hell. Okay, so that dukkham that arises because of the desires in the mind, where the Vishayanandam will be impossible. Definitely it will be impossible, right, for everyone. There is no doubt, there is no exception here. So because of that, when this leads to dukkham, this dukkham is what we call it as agre vishami, pariname vishamiva. Agre amrutopamam. In the beginning it is all will very nice. We will be feel happy and all that. But later it turns to be visham. Then there is no going back. It will be very difficult to go back. Very difficult. It is impossible at that time to have even Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam will be difficult. Without Atmajnanam, without Sattvi Sukha, mean without any external aid, one enjoys the happiness within. That is Atma Sukham. Atmajnanam will become impossible. Then better luck next life. That's all. Okay. So, this Sukham, that is what Bhagavan explains here, is called Rajasamsmritam. This is called Rajasika Sukham. And not only that, the desire for Indriya Sukham, the desires for Indriya Sukham leads to more responsibilities and more relations. Again I will read. The desire for Indriya Sukham, this Vishayanandam, leads to more responsibilities and more relations. Marriage is one example, right? So, which will lead to more responsibilities and more relations. It's a fact, right? It's a fact. More responsibilities and more relations, which become poison at the end. It need not be only marriage, but any sort of relation that we form, right? Any sort of connections that we form just to get connected with the Indriyas, etc., will lead to more responsibilities and more relations, which will become, because you get attached to it, without which it is impossible. Without or without a husband, without wife, without children, without friends, without particular circumstances, etc., right? Without this particular situations, I will be unhappy, because I need all of this. All of these attachments I require. Money, bank balance, name and fame. Okay? All that. Everything will be required to make me happy. Including health. That also is an attachment. Including the attachment to this body. Okay? So all of this will lead to dukkham at the end. Because separation is inevitable. With all the objects will be separated from me. This clarity in thought will only lead to vairagyam, and that leads to jnanam, and that leads to atma sukham, and that is sattvika sukham. Whereas objects are necessary for my happiness is rajasika sukham. So now we'll read again. Vishayendriya sanyogat yat tad agre mrutopamam. Agre amrutopamam. In the beginning it will all look very nice. Then pariname vishamiva tat sukham rajasamsmritam. Okay. So next, and not only that, this rajasika sukham will lead to adharma also. It will lead to adharmic activities. Okay. All the time it will not be ethical. Once we are not getting that particular indriya sukham, people will go to any extent to get that sukham. All shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandham, through all these five sense organs, the urge, the desire to enjoy, okay, all it will lead to even adharmic activities, to earn money also. Earn money also will become an asha, right? And if anything that comes as an obstacle, people lead to adharmic way. Enakenapi, I will earn money. Or enakenapi, somehow, whichever way I will do, I will get that for my Indriya Sukham. Accumulation of money. Okay, hoarding. More, I want more, I want more. For what? For Indriya Sukham only. All the money that is accumulated for Indriya Sukham only, which will be impossible at the end. So such a Sukham is Rajasika Sukham. That is, we don't want that. We want only Atma Sukham. Atma Sukham is without any external aid, I will be happy. Or my true nature is happiness. Satchidananda Swarupam I am that Ananda Swarupam which we will get only through Atma Jnanam. Now let us see what Bhagavan says about the Tamasika Sukham. 39th slokam. Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamaatmanah nidralasya pramadotham tattamasamudahritam. Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamaatmanah nidralasya pramadotham tattamasamudahritam. Yat sukham, that sukham, agrecha anubandhecha. At the beginning, agreja means in the beginning, and anubandhecha at all times, and end also. Okay? So in the beginning and continuously and at the end also, Atmanaha for the mind, Nidra alasya pramadotham. Okay? Nidra, sleep. Alasyam, that is laziness. Pramadam, pramadam means carelessness. The chitta brahmam, scattered mind. Okay? Carelessness is nothing but scattered mind only. Mind is not able to concentrate on one thing. Mind is thinking about something else, and this becomes careless. The job that we are doing will be neglected. Why? Because the mind goes somewhere else. So that is chitta brahmam. Mind is going from this and that and then all the time, moving from one to another, which leads to chitta brahmam. So nidra, alasyam, pramadam, etc. Tat and mohanam. Okay, that is mohanam means moham, which comes from moham, delusion. Tad tamasa budahridam. That sukham is declared as tamasik. See, tamo gunam means moha, delusion. Okay? The intellect, the buddhi, is clouded, and the viveka buddhi is lost. The Viveka Buddhi means discrimination, not seeing the things as they are. Okay? Not Viveka Buddhi is not there. That leads to what? Sleeping most of the time. See, Rajasic person will be very energetic and they will work towards certain goals in life. Even though the goals are material in nature, Rajasic people will strive to get it. Whereas Tamasic people, the quality of Tamasam is moham, delusion, and not seeing the things as they are, and because of that reason, generally the swabhavam will be, their swabhavam will be, naturally they will be lazy people. Okay? Lazy, and they won't even do their swadharma, minimum duty to survive themselves. That will not be there. To look after their own body, to eat, for getting some food, to earn something for own food, they will not do. That is because of laziness. They are lazy, won't do swadharmam even for own survival. And also, they will do things which are inappropriate. If at all the Tamasic people do something, it will spoil, it will hurt, okay? It will hurt, it will spoil the situation, and it will spoil themselves also. So that is laziness, then sleeping most of the time, not consideration about the time or space, etc. No discipline no discipline in life. Okay, totally indisciplined life. Then that leads to jadatva. Jadatva. What will happen if someone is really tamasic till the end? Their next life will be, we can say generally it's jadatvam will be there more in their lives, like stones, etc. Okay, so the next life will be more jadatvam. It will decide this life will decide the next life. The actions of this life will decide the next life. Next janmam will be very miserable. And also they will try to find sukham through artificial means, like alcohol, ganja, marijuana, etc. All that they will indulge in all sorts of artificial sukham from external aids. They will try, and this is the tamasika sukham. Actually speaking, there is no sukham in it actually but still. So what is the main reason for being tamasic is moham, delusion. Absolutely no idea about Atma or God. There is nothing like that. Whatever they do will harm the society, will harm the family, and harm self also. That is the tamasam sukham. So this is agreja. In the beginning also it will be like that. Anubandeja. Continuously they will continue the same thing, and at the end also will be miserable. So earlier also we discussed the only way to come out of it is listen, if by God's grace or by a guru's blessings, they start listening to the talks on Vedanta or about bhakti. Devotion comes inside, and slowly they will be revived. That is the only possibility. So next, what Bhagavan says, Krishna says, now the whole world, the whole universe is controlled by the three gunas only. Okay, let us see 40th slokam. Na tadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakritijair muktam yadebhisyat tribhirgunaihi. Na tadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakritijair muktam yadebhisyat tribhirgunaihi. Prithivyam va punaha divi, on earth as well as on heavens also. Deveshva, in all devas. Yebihi tribihi, these three prakritijahi gunaihi. These prakriti gunas, sattvam, rajas, tamo gunas. Yat sattvam syat muktam nasti. Okay. Yad sattvam syad means any drishyam, any scene. Drishyam is drishyam, anything that we are able to see, that is drishyam, right? All the objects of this world means this prapancham, this whole universe. Tat prakritijehi gunaihi muktam nasti. It cannot, it is never, this is not free of gunas. All the objects of this world, all the names and forms, okay, understand it as names and forms, namam rupam. This, all the names and forms that appears in front of you, all the sound that is coming, all that we are able to smell, see, taste, etc. All of this, that is this universe, right? Prapancham, it's called prapancham, is like that only. So with the five sense organs, whatever we are experiencing, that is drishyam, all of that is a mixture of these three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Gunas. That includes everything that is on the earth and everything beyond also. That is why it says in heavens also, in Divi. I mean everything, everywhere in this universe. Okay, that to include everything in this universe, it says Punaha Divi. So in heavens, Deveshuva, even in the five big elements. Devas means the five big elements, the sun, the moon, okay, and all the devatas, though, control the sense organs. Okay, all devatas, all devas, all humans, all animals, plants, birds, mosquitoes, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, everyone, everything in this universe, they are all controlled by these three gunas: Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Gunas. There is nothing that is Shuddha Sattvam or Shuddha Rajas or Shuddha Tamas. Only Pradhanam will increase. Okay, Sattva Guna Pradhanam will be there, Rajo Guna Pradhanam and Tamo Guna Pradhanam. All the other will be there in minute percentage. So all three gunas are there in the samsaram, and the whole samsara is of three gunas only, and everyone is bound by these gunas. Everyone is bound by these gunas. Then, who is Nirguna then? Brahman alone is Nirguna. Everything else is an appearance in this Brahman. In this consciousness, Brahma means what? You are that. Tat Tvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi. Right? So, the consciousness alone is Nirgunam. In that consciousness, all of that, the universe that appears, right? The universe that is appearing in front of me means what? In front of me. That who is that me? Is the consciousness. In that consciousness, whatever is appearing is made of these three gunas, and all of that, including this body, mind, is bound by the three gunas. So, the only way to be free from this bondage is to transcend the notion that I am this body, I am this mind, okay, I am that consciousness. So, because of Maya, everything else appears. Ya, Ma, Sa, Maya. That which doesn't exist is called Maya. Okay. So, let us see on earth how the gunas influence, okay, the various classifications we will see. So Bhagavan goes to explain these three gunas in humans. 41. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Visham, Shudranam cha parantapa, Karmani, Pravibhaktani, Swabhava, Prabhavair Gunaihi. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Visham, Shudranam cha parantapa, Karmani, Pravibhaktani, Swabhava, Prabhavair Gunaihi. Hey Arjuna, the duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras are distinguished according to the gunas born of their nature. See, Swabhavam means Swayam Bhavati iti Swabhavam. Swayam Bhavati. Naturally what? Swayam. Naturally born. Okay. Swayam Bhavati. And we already discussed in detail earlier also, but we will just touch. There are two things. One is Swabhavam, the other is Swarupam. Swarupam and Swabhavam. Swarupam is only one. Ekameva advitiyam. Swarupam means God alone. Paramatma alone is the Swarupam of everything here. That is the Swarupam. That alone exists. Swabhavam is the appearance in Swarupam. So what is Swabhavam here? The names and forms. That is the Swabhava. The Jiva is the Swabhava. The Jiva Bhavam. Right? The Jiva Bhavam, not the Jivan. The Jiva Bhavam, that is the Swabhavam. That varies from person to person. Right? In every individual is unique. Every individual is different. And this Swabhavam is Swabhava Prabhavaihi Gunaihi. This Swabhavam is classified into Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Gunas, Pradhanam. So every Swabhavam, every one Swabhavam is a mixture of these three gunas. And this Swabhavam decides the karma. Only the gunas, the percentage of this Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, this decides the gunas. This decides the karma. As per this gunas and karma, the classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras are done. So the classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is not by Janma. Chadurvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasah. Remember, 4th chapter, 13th verse. Chadurvarnyam, these 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras are classified only by the guna and karma. By the combination of these 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, and by the karma. The karma is decided by the gunas. So the classification is decided by the guna karma. That fact which Krishna told in the 4th chapter is emphasized here by the word Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. It is by the Swabhavam. That is the Swabhavam of everyone. Swarupam is same. Swarupam is same and there is only one. Swarupam doesn't change. It is never born. It never dies. Right? Whereas Swabhavam is what is the appearance. This appearance, whatever is appearing, it disappears, right? Even gunas are changed. Gunas can be changed. That is, the Swabhavam can be changed. Who can change? The Jiva. The Jiva means you and me, right? We can change our gunas, we can change our Swabhavam, and through which we can change our karmas. So how? Only through Atma Jnanam. Through Jnanam, the gunas are changed. And when the gunas are changed, the Shudra can become Vaishya, Vaishya can become Kshatriya, Kshatriya can become Brahmana, and the other way also it is possible. Otherwise also possible. So the classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are by gunas, not by Janma. What does that mean? If anyone is born in a Brahmin family, Brahmin caste, need not be a Brahmana, need not be similarly, anyone who is born in a Kshatriya family need not be a Kshatriya. Similarly, one who is born in a Shudra family need not be a Shudra. So that is why it has got nothing to do. This classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra has got nothing to do with the family. But somehow this crept in. The caste system corrupted the humans, and that is what we are seeing all the problems here. So now let us see. So before that, so it is through the change of these qualities, the change of these gunas can be done by paurushena prayatnena. By the willpower of the jiva, these gunas can be changed. Guna ghadana can be changed. The percentage can be changed. All this we have discussed in detail in 4th chapter. Please refresh again. So this can be changed, and we can increase the sattva gunam. Increase the sattva gunam. Increase jnanam. Sattva gunam means understanding. Okay? Jnanam. Knowledge. Knowledge of Atma. Okay? So that can be done, and through which the sattva gunam is raised. Sattva gunam is increased. Then the jiva becomes sattva guna pradhani. Yeah, already we discussed only Bhagavan is Gunatitaha. So long as one identifies with the body, Guna will be there. So long as a jiva identifies with the body, Gunas will be there. Only one who identifies with Atma alone is Gunatitaha. That is Jivan Mukti. See, there is a story, Hastamalaga story. If you remember, there was a small boy who was not at all talking. So his parents thought that he is dumb. So ultimately, when Shankaracharya came, Adi Shankaracharya came, they took this boy to Adi Shankaracharya. Then Adi Shankaracharya saw him, and immediately he knew this boy is special. So he asked him, "Who are you?" Then that boy said, "Naham manushyo, na cha deva yakshaha, na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudraha, na brahmachari, na grihi vanastaha, bhikshurna chaham nija bodharupaha." That boy said, "I am not a human being." So the first thing he cut the identification with the body. Then who am I? Nija bodharupaha. I am the consciousness. I am that, in Tamil, unarv. I am that awareness. I am that bodham. Nija bodharupaha I am. I am not human being. Then na cha devaha. I am not a deva. I am not a yaksha. And I am not brahmana. I am not kshatriya. I am not vaishya. I am not shudra. Okay? Then the brahmachari, ashrama dharmas, he denied that. I am not brahmachari. I am not a grihastha. I am not a vanaprastha. The bhikshu, I am not a sannyasi also. I am not a sannyasi. Then I am that nija bodharupaha. I am consciousness. That is gunatitaha. That is gunatitaha. So gunatitaha, there is only one, as we discussed. One who identifies with Brahman. That is why Brahmavit Brahmaiva bhavati. One who knows Brahman is Brahman. Brahman alone can know. Okay? Brahman alone can know. And one who identifies with that Brahman, he is Brahman. So one who knows Brahman is Brahman. That is Gunatitaha. So no identification with any body. Let us see now what are the duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Let us see what Bhagavan Krishna says. 42nd verse. Shamo damas tapas shaucham kshanti rajavamevacha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. Again, swabhavajam he is using, all the time he is using the word swabhavam. So we should never forget the word swabhavam and swarupam. There are only two things. Swarupam, swabhavam. Bodham, jadam. in the beginning of inquiry. Ultimately, Jadam doesn't exist. Jadam is an appearance in Bodham. So only Bodham alone exists. God alone exists. All the names and forms is an appearance in Bodham. So, what are the duties of Brahmanas? Shamo, Damas, Tapas, Shaucham, Kshantirajavamevacha, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma, Karma, Swabhavajam. What are the marks of Brahmana? Shamam, Damam, control of the mind, control of the sense organs and motor organs. Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, total control, Damam. Then Tapaha, one-pointedness of the mind, that is Tapaha. Then Shaucham, internal and external cleanliness, Shaucham. Purity, okay? Mind, Chitta Shuddhi is there, purity is there. Then Kshandihi, Kshama, patience, Titiksha, okay? Arjavam, straightforwardness, straightforward, not crookedness at all. Arjavam evacha. Then Jnanam. Here it is the intellectual clarity of what? Of the Vastu. Not the intellectual clarity of something else, not the objects. Intellectual clarity of Atma. That is Jnanam. Vijnanam is experiential knowledge. But that is assimilation of the knowledge. Assimilated in self. And through which enjoying the Atmanandam. That is Vijnanam. Astikyam. Astikyam means devotion to Veda Dharmas, or also it is called Sarvatra Ishvara Buddhi. Astikyam means seeing God in everything and all karmas are done as an offering to God. Right? That is Ishvara Buddhi. Swabhavajam, that is as we discussed earlier, Swabhavajam, naturally so. So a jiva, one who has naturally these qualities. One who has natural these qualities of this what? Control of the mind, control of sense organs, right? Tapaha. Manasascha indriyanam cha aikagryam paramam tapaha. That is tapas. The one pointed, the mind is fixed on one thing. Vyavasayatmika buddhi reka. Fixed on God alone. Right? That is tapas. In that all karmas are done. That is tapaha. Shaujam. External purity, external cleanliness, and internal also. Chittam also. The mind also is pure. No ragadveshas. Right? Or trying to reduce all ragadveshas. That also. So ragadveshas are bare minimum or almost nil. Okay. So that individual, arjavam, straightforwardness, no crookedness. Okay. Then jnanam, vijnanam, astikyam. Such an individual is called a Brahmana. So these qualities, if someone has, who is born in any family, I should say any family, anywhere in this universe, let it be in India or in Tamil Nadu, or let it be in America or Africa, right? Anyone who has these qualities, that jiva, that individual, that human being is Brahmana. That person is Brahmana. Nothing to do with where that individual is born. You may find such individuals in a born Brahmin family, or in similarly it is such people are available in other families also. Okay. See, example you can see Bhagavan Vedavyasa, Vidura was a Shudra family, but he is a Brahmana. Bhishma was a Kshatriya, but she is a Brahmana. Brahmanic qualities are there. He is a Jnani, Mahajnani, Bhishma. Dharmavyatha, who was a butcher, you can see the story of Dharmavyada in Mahabharata. He is a butcher in the family, but he is Brahmana. Okay, so one second. So these are the marks, or these are the characteristics of a Brahmana, and his karmas will be accordingly. Now let us see the next one. So okay, so we have to understand that this Brahmana, in Srimad Bhagavatam there is a verse, Brahmanasya hi dehoyam kshudrakamaya neshyate krichraya tapase cheha pretyananda sukhaya cha. See, the body of a Brahmana is not for indulging in petty pleasures. So that is the level of a Brahmana. It is not for, its purpose is to perform intense tapas. Tapas here to experience the infinite happiness. It is for Atmajnanam. It is for that Brahmanandam. It is to enjoy the Brahmanandam that a body of a Brahmana is used for, not for petty pleasures. So this is what Bhagavata says about a Brahmana. Let us move to the 43rd. You finished 42nd? Yeah, 42nd is Brahmana. 43rd. Next comes the description, the nature of Kshatriyas. Shauryam tejo dhritir dakshyam yuddhe chapyapalayanam danam ishvara bhavascha kshatram karma swabhavacham. Shauryam means heroism. Tejaha, balam or vigor, right? Balam, strength. Dhriti, that is firmness or willpower. Dhairyam. Dakshyam, that is resourcefulness. Samarthyam, very smart. Then Yuddhe apalayanam, never runs away from the war field. Okay, Yuddhe apalayanam. Apicha, not only that, Danam, helping those who are in need, generosity. Ishvara bhavahacha, having Ishvara buddhi. Okay, having always thought of God. Another meaning is lordliness, you can say. Another meaning. Anyway, swabhavajam. Naturally, again, Bhagavan uses the word swabhavajam here. You see, swabhavajam. Naturally, one has all these. Okay, one who has got these qualities naturally, kshatram, karma, these are the duties of Kshatriya. Who is a Kshatriya? Kshatrayate, protects people from hurt and injury. Kshatrayate idi Kshatriyaha. Then, such an individual, wherever that individual is born, he will have all these qualities. Heroism will be there. Shauryam, Tejas, Parakramam, right? Dhriti, Dakshyam. See, Brahmana is Sattva Guna Pradhani. Maximum Sattva Gunam will be there, and Rajogunam and Tamogunam will be very minimum. In Kshatriyas, it is the Sattva Gunam and Rajogunam will be equal. Okay, this will be equal. And Tamogunam will be very minimum. In Vaishyas, Rajogunam and Tamogunam will be equal. Sattva Gunam will be very less. And in Shudras, Rajogunam and Tamogunam will be maximum. Tamoguna Pradhani. Shudras means Tamogunam will be maximum, and Sattvagunam and Rajogunam will be minimum. See, this is a general guidance only. We cannot put a cut like that. We cannot say. It is an approximate guidance through the scriptures give. We can find all of this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra in every individual also. At various circumstances, various situations, okay, people will act accordingly. Okay, so at a particular situation, you will find the Brahmanic qualities sprouting up. At some places, the leadership qualities will come. So everywhere you cannot expect. Generally, we can say all this. And Vaishya qualities will be there. In among us also, we will have all of these qualities coming this side, that side. It will come at various situations, it will come up. So we cannot say, but in general, we can have this is Sattva Gunam, this is Rajo Gunam, this is Brahmana, this is Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, etc. Okay, in generally only we can say. We can find all of this mixed up in every personality. So, Shauryam, Tejo, Dhridir, Dakshyam, Yuddhe, Chapyapalayanam, Dhanam, Ishvara Bhavascha, Kshatram, Karma, Swabhavajam. See, Dronar, we know in Mahabharata, Drona, Ashwathama, they were born in a Brahmin family, but their karma was Kshatriya. Parasurama, another example. Parasurama was born in a Brahmin, but he did a lot of Kshatriya karmas, right? Lot of violence also. He had tried to finish this Kartavirya Arjuna, I think, the families, lot of violence he have done. Now we will move to the next one. We explained all, no? Yeah, Shauryam, Tejaha, Dhanam. Okay, helping those who are in need. That's a quality of a Kshatriya. See, Kshatriyas they are not doing their karma for their personal glory or personal benefit. They do it for the purpose of the society, for the purpose of the country. That is why Sattvagunam is there. At the same time, Rajogunam also will be there. Rajogunam will be there equally. Okay, Sattvagunam also is there. So like Arjuna and all is a Punyatma, he is, right? Lot of Sattvagunam is there in Arjuna. That is the reason he is able to understand Vedanta. He is listening to Krishna only because of the Sattvagunam. And all the kings, why? All kings in our Puranas or in our earlier history, if you take, they were all Brahmajnanis. All were Rajarshis. Janaka and so many others. Ikshwaku, like that. So all the kings, Rama, Khatwanga, all of them are all Brahmajnanis. Even if they were all kings, even if they were Kshatriyas, they had this knowledge, they had this Vedanta. Now we'll move to the 44th sloka. Krishi Gau Rakshya Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmagam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Krishi Gau Rakshya Vanijyam. Krishi, farming, agriculture. Then Gau Rakshya, cattle rearing and trade, etc. Vanijyam means trade, business. Swabhavajam Vaishya Karma. That is the natural duties of Vaishyas. And Shudrasyapi. Shudras Paricharyatmagam Karma. Their natural inclination is to serve others. Okay? Their natural tendency or natural swabhavam. Naturally, their karmas are to serve everyone else. So these are the four classification and their karma. And gunas I explained earlier, Vaishyas will be, Sattvagunam will be minimum, Rajogunam and Tamogunam will be equal in them, and Shudras, the Tamogunam will be maximum, Tamoguna Pradhanis, and Rajogunam and Sattvagunam will be very less. So accordingly, these classifications are done. It is never to do, nothing to do with the caste. Okay, so whenever you hear, next time, whenever we hear the word Brahmana, we have to think of the gunas. If these gunas are there, do I have these gunas of a Brahmana? Then only I can call myself as a Brahmana. We'll continue next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Harihi Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu.